Tell you what, all right, if you've got kids, there's some information here that could change their lives, perhaps yours as well. It's all about food. How do you know what types of food to give your child at what age? Can you give French fries to a 1-year-old? Can you give French fries to Sam Cantrell? What about bacon, avocado, and, sausage? Really tasty stuff. Well, okay, Roshini Raj, Dr. Roshini Raj, a gastroenterologist, as well as Today's Show health contributor. Do I have all that right?
Yeah, that's all right, yes.
All right, and I'm a kind of a bad news first kind of a guy, if you could call it bad news. What shouldn't kids eat
Well,
first?
you know, I'm the mom of 2 small kids, so I've just gone through this myself, and it can be intimidating for new parents to know what is healthy, what isn't. So the no-no foods first. Let's look at honey. Honey is definitely a no-no for children under 1. It can actually cause botulism. So the same Botox that we use for our wrinkles can actually cause a very severe life-threatening disease in infants. So you don't want to give them honey before the age of 1.
I thought that they just choked on honey.
Well, it is a problem for that too, and peanut butter is the same thing. It's very thick, viscous, and they can choke for that reason.
It does kind of have it's going down. It's kind of tough.
Yeah, it can really stick there, and their muscles are not mature enough to really get it out. And then popcorn, same thing, a big choking hazard, not just for babies, but for toddlers as well. You really want to wait till your children are actually in school before you give them popcorn.
That's why we don't feed Jeff any of those 3 things.
Yes, when I scarf that stuff down in the theater, it's a big problem.
Yeah, but you know what to avoid, but you do want to give a variety of foods. You really want to develop the taste for many different things. This is the opportunity to develop lifelong good habits. So fruits, vegetables, once the baby is big enough to actually, have more solid food, cubes of apple, shapes they love, so triangles of turkey or cucumber sticks. This is going to get them stimulated and get them to try new things.
It's interesting too, because when we were talking about what shouldn't kids eat, I mean, there's stuff that's obvious, like candy, keep that very much to a very adult roar. Gum, you don't eat it, just chew it and spit it out. But because these 3 things, peanut butter, popcorn, honey, we think of as being pretty healthy foods.
And they're not unhealthy, but for children or little babies, they're not appropriate because they can cause hazards. Exactly.
And coming back to what you were talking about, a variety, color, texture, and of course flavor. So talk a bit about some of the things that maybe people don't feed their kids.
Right. Well, you do have to, as a parent, take it seriously. You want to read your nutrition labels on the boxes. You want to make sure that your kids are getting whole grains, not too much sugar, not a lot of artificial flavors, nutrients like zinc and choline, iron. This is really important for toddler brain development. So you want to look for those things. A great example is the post-Sesame Street cereal, which basically has only 1 gram of sugar per serving and 2/3 of a toddler's daily whole grain requirement. And it's great shape, so they love to pick things up. One of the things parents often do is they want to do really bland foods. They avoid taste. If you've ever tasted what baby, it tastes terrible because there's no taste.
Baby food is gross.
Yeah, my wisdom teeth out.
You don't have to do that. Give them a little flavor. They would appreciate it. And here we have avocado. You could put a little bit of mild taco seasoning. I'm not saying the extra fiery wings, but give them a little flavor. And don't be discouraged if they don't like it at first. It takes a toddler between 6 and 10 times of trying a new food to really decide if they like it or not. So keep giving a try.
Took me only once. I love avocado.
Well, yeah, it looks delicious.
It's healthy fat, too,
It's very good for you. Yeah.
What else do we have on the plate here?
Let them make a mess. So hummus is great. They like to smear. They like to throw things sometimes. Once they develop what's called a pincer grasp, when they can actually pick up food with 2 fingers, give them little things to pick up and mess around with. But you do want to make sure the size is appropriate. A whole grape, a choking hazard.
I was just going to say, I was going to ask you a question about that. I know we were trying to make our way over there, but I thought that grapes were bad for kids. But I guess it's just a whole grape.
It's the shape of it. Yep, the whole grape can definitely get lodged. You can see it right in their throat. But if you cut it, if you cut it into these tiny pea-sized pieces, it's great, and they're going to have a lot of fun with it. And then the last thing, allergies. We are seeing a lot more food allergies these days in schools, and as a new parent, you do need to be careful. It's recommended to introduce 1 new food at a time. So if you're going to start with peas, you do peas for 3 days in a row, make sure they have no reaction, and then go on to the next food.
I really hope I'm not I hope I'm not putting you on the spot and asking this question.
No problem.
Do you have any idea why more people seem to have food allergies than they used to?
There are a lot of theories, and a couple of the theories, number 1 is that we are too clean a society right now. We are using the hand sanitizers and not allowing our immune systems to get used to germs, and that can affect allergies as well.
We have to wrap up, and I know you have a book also but people can find out information about you and about what you're talking about here.